So hello again to everybody. I apologize, I am again in my bathroom because of the light, because the light is better in my bathroom. So anyway, this video today is not a video about my hair, it's not a video about life and so on, but I felt the used to do the need to do a video about me, and it's like a bit of confession about me video. So nevertheless, I have now 18 years passed from the moment I married, and for the first 7 years the things worked good, and I managed the money of the house, and that was a good thing for the budget, so to speak. So but in 2007 I was on my second pregnancy, and the second child came, okay, and I had to stay at home for my children, and my husband thought that it's better if he changed the employment, and he started to change employment, and after that he changed the bank account, and he started to manage the money of the house, only him. So but because things were good before, that was so to speak some saved money always, and he started to think to to buy a restaurant, and so on, and in the end he did that, and we start with a very little restaurant, and things were not good, and after kind like 1 year the things came into move better, the people arrived, and we start to work and to get some money, not much, but very very little money, and we lose the house that we had before, so we had to move around, and we moved the house that was at the first floor above the restaurant, and in that moment I work all day at the restaurant, and I had also my children with me. But I was young and strong, and I never lament, and I did my best, and nevertheless things were changed, and we as today you don't buy a restaurant, but you can manage the restaurant. So we got another one bigger, and we start to really gain better. So it happened something. So when money came, my husband, around my husband came all kind of friends, young or of his age, and he liked to show himself, like, oh yes, I am not rich, but well, I'm doing well, I have money, I have also, and he start to go around, so to speak. In those moments, my first child start to go in first elementary at school, and I worked so much. I sleep like 3 hours at night, and all day I manage the the place and the bar, and we had to open at 5 o'clock in the morning, and we close doors at midnight. So after that you have to clean, you have to do a lot of things, and I worked with my children. I had my little one, and I breastfeed my children both. So I had a very harsh period of my life, but as always I never lament, and I work in silence and smiling, and trying that the things were going good. And but it was a turn of the psyche of my husband. He changed, so he started to develop, I believe, of my point of view now, after all these years, kind of a narcissistic way of psychology. And he started to make debts, and we go into debts, so we lose all that we had. So then we moved again in another city, and I had a time like 65 kilos weight, and was so, the collapse that happened was so bad that we lost almost everything. Now we were without house, without money, with a lot of debts, and I lost very much weight. In few months I had 41 kilos of weight, and my internal body tried to keep me alive. And yeah, I'm not a person that show the emotions outside, so nevertheless, at my 41 years of age and 41 kilos, I lost my periods, and with that came all kind of lost my hair, and physically was very, very difficult for me, a very difficult period of my life. He became very strange. He find jobs, and after kind of 1 month he gets annoyed and or bored. I don't remember now the term, and he quit the job, and then we'll stay at home for 1 month, and then we'll find another job. And I have to confess that after you passed your 40, your 41, your 40, you know, age, it's more difficult to find a job. I believe that there is everywhere in the world. It's not only here, and especially as a women, you know, males tend to find jobs more easily in any kind of job, but for women it's more difficult, especially if you have children. It's yet another story again, and you will not find a job easily, okay? So the thing that was starting before, that he kept the money, you know, was remained even after that, even now. So he is very narcissistic in the way that he wants to, for him everything is that it doesn't matter, and how much cost, and you know, if you think about car or anything that can cost very much, it doesn't matter for him. But if I need, for example, a dentist, start to you know, he start to say, oh yeah, you will go next month, or next month again, or next month again, until the tooth will have to be taken out, you know. So because it's not regarding, so to speak, his personally, you know, it doesn't matter what happened to you. So so nevertheless, after that experience, that was very much years ago, I was always without money. Always. If I need something, I have to ask him, can you please give me 5 euros? And he asked me, for what? Or if I asked him, can you give me please 20 euros? He make big eyes and, for what? So much? Why do you need so much money? And so on. So I never had money, okay? I have to ask for 5 euros, and I cannot ask, I'm less than a child, you know, that have his, you know, I don't know how do you call it, when you give to a child weekly sum. I'm less than that. So now there are more other things that does not go well in my marriage, okay? And when happened that crash very long ago, my children, our children, were still little, so 7 and 5 years, and I proposed to him so much time ago, you know, the divorce, because at that time I was 68 kilos, I was strong, I was young, I could go, you know, find even a job, and so on. but he cried and promised, it will be, everything will be okay, please don't do that, please don't say this, please blah blah. And I was afraid because of my children. Now I'm from Romania and my husband is Italian, and we are married, and I don't still have the nationality, the national. I'm still Romanian, even after almost 20 years of marriage, And now, in a case of a divorce or a separation, I don't know, how can I keep my children? He acts still today as a very narcissistic person. Outside, for the world, he is a very good husband and a very good father, but inside he's not. He always criticizes and lament for our existence. He yell and treat very bad the children, and no, he don't touch us. But when he get angry, he broke a thing in the house, so we usually tend to don't, so to speak, answer what we think, because in that case there is the possibility that we'll take something and you will break the fridge or the computers or TV or in a very violent way. So because he's playing so good for outside of the house, and because he even don't beat us, he don't touch us. For me, obtaining a separation or a divorce will be more difficult that it's to think, so to speak. So I supported everything because of my children, and so I waited so much, because so almost 13 years from the time when this marriage is not going good. It's not going good, but I stayed, I remained, and I supported all this because I always believed that in a case of a separation or in a case of divorce, I will lose my children, and I don't want to leave the children to him, because it's so labil psyche, as in this moment is smiling and it's okay, and in the next moment will get all red and anger and blasphemic and blame all others around him and so on. Now our first son is going to he finished the 8th classes school, and now he's going to superior school, and but he his father does not want to pay his school because I don't know why. He always said that we are a weight, when it's a weight in his life, and it's so now from that time till now, every year of my life was a circle, a start, and again the same situation, and again the same situation. Now in this year it's worse again, because at least when you go in circles, you are always there. Now it's worse because the circle is going down, and I feel it this, and every day is how is the term, is improving, not in, reproving, you know, to my son for the for the school that he chose, because it's an expensive, so to speak, school. But I believe that the child have reasons to try to do something of his life, and to get away from that. Now my husband now have gotten an associated another restaurant, so to speak, and I asked to my husband to get me to how do you call it, to employ me in his restaurant, so to speak. But he's saying, oh yeah, sure, give me your documents so that I send it there, but it's past now weeks from that moment, and he didn't return my documents, but either he get my employment. So in my mind it's very clear that he does not want that I became independent, you know, that I have money, because if I get you know, a job or a sustained way of life of myself, then I fly away. I would go away. It's not physically a bad marriage. It's a psychological very bad marriage. Is I don't have words to explain the way and the life with a narcissistic person is. It's terrible. And not only for me, it's even for my children. It's terrible. And so I thought the other day that it's better that I maybe separate or divorce, because my life became a nightmare, and every year we'll start again the same nightmare, the same, and again and again. But first, I don't have money to pay an advocate and or lawyer, you know. Second, I don't have any place to go. You know, to go somewhere, and because of his ways of being, I'm afraid even to open, you know, the conversation about, because he could explode, so to speak, in the who knows what. And so that's the situation. Um, Sometimes he said that we eat too much, then sometimes he buy a lot of things and say, oh, you have to be a bit fatter, you all are too skinny, and I believe that is for the presents that we gave. And so every time I make the list for him to, buy food and groceries and so on, every time I make a straight list and I calculate everything that doesn't cost too much and it's healthy, like veggies and stuff. But in the end, he doesn't attain to the list and buy all other things that he wants that we eat, so to speak, So that's it. I'm sick of this life, but not because the life it's not beautiful. Life is beautiful. When I watch outside and I see the blue sky and the people around, life is beautiful. But this is a nightmare inside, and I don't think that will change. I have now 48 years of age, and not even if I dream about a job, I will never get it. And so he have the money, I don't have any money. He depends of him if he pay, all the things. If he don't pay, and we don't have electricity or we don't have gas. It depending of his mood or idea of how he will manage money or what he want to buy or think. And it's unbelievable because for outside, for the city or where we live, he's a good father and a good husband. It doesn't seem, the person that he really is. And yeah, I wanted to do this video because I don't believe that my life will change even this year, and yeah, maybe I will not do videos about other things. It's not a new thing. All videos that I done, my life was the same as in this moment, So that's what I think about life. It's another story. But yeah, I even if I know, so to speak, the mystery of life, I can't manage to get out of this nightmare. I try to resist. It's only that I try. But if I'm in a good mood and I'm saying, oh hi, how are you? I make coffee. Are you okay? I prepare this and that and so, and I did everything, He watched for a moment, and I see him that he thinks thoroughly at something, and then ask, but did you iron, you know, the t-shirt that I like, or I don't know, it's I don't know how to explain the you know, the person that he is. If we if I and my children are at the table and he's, I don't know, on the couch, and we are laughing for something that children said, or I said, or I don't know, he's like, what are you laughing, what are you saying, and so on. Life with a narcissistic person, it's a nightmare. It's worse than worse. So yeah, his family, you know, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law are good person, but they never helped, so to speak, our family. And I'm alone because my mother is 2,000 kilometers distance, and I don't have anybody here, and I will never have a lawyer to get a divorce. So even if I will get a lawyer and explain all these things, I couldn't go anywhere, you know, and that's a very, very difficult part. So I don't know if the camera go okay. So first of all, my heart go fully with all the people that are you know, victims of narcissistic people, and I do understand them because I am in such situations. So now he is a very bad manager of the budget of the family, because first of all, he prioritizes his you know, ideas, his needs, and only if we ask, and sometimes even if we ask, we don't get them. So it's an impossible situation. So until my children will be big enough, I believe that until that moment, I will be so old that it will be useful, you know, my life. And the only thing why I did this video, because it's not only that because he is a narcissistic and is destroying the family, you know, and he destroyed me inside, you know. It's not enough. Now he's trying to destroy his son, you know, his first son, you know, and destroy his future instead of sustain him and send him, encourage him. He's reproving every day. You're wait for my life, you could do anything else, you blah blah. Why? Because my son wants to do to be a pilot, you know, to do aeronautic, and this, you know, it is truly not so expensive, because it's it is, but not in so much manner, you know. but he's trying to, my husband, he's trying to do all things that will lead toward the impossibility, you know, that will sustain, the impossibility to sustain the my son at school, that is his son also, you know. So yeah, I don't know what I should do. I'm effectively I'm afraid to ask for a divorce because I don't have any place to go, because it is a violent person. He is a violent person, but he managed to avoid to to be violent, because he know, you know, a narcissist know that if he do an error, then it's ended, you know. So he is very careful to perpetrate, so to speak, this situation, and I don't get it anymore. I cannot stand it anymore. I don't see the solution. It's like when you you have, it's an end road. There is a wall there and it's ended, and now you are there and you have no place to go, you know, like that. And it's bad for me. Yeah, I know I don't like to transfer all this in my videos, but sometimes it's so hard. So this time I need to do this confession about my life, and I don't want even to be so long, the video, so I didn't say so much things that are so wrong. And yeah, I don't know what will be, you know. I don't know, seriously. I watched many videos about narcissistic relations, and that have to be cut down, and that it's so difficult. I want to remember that I told you that in the first 7 years was nothing like that. After we start to gain money and you know, a situation, this part of him get out and destroyed everything. Now sometimes he's faking even that he's sick and ill, and he visited at least 6 hospitals, and they did everything, you know, all the analysis, you know, raises, tack, and everything, and he didn't get any. He's healthy, you know, healthy, but he's inventing that he's sick, or I don't know, because in that period of time, I told him that I want to break out, I want to live his life free, and me and the babies will go away on some place. And so he started to invent that he's sick, but you know, the doctors saw that he is healthy. He have nothing, but you know. So yeah, that was the video. I apologize if I you know, made this video, this confession video, but I needed to do it, to tell to somebody, you know, anybody, because there is no help that I can get. There is none. There is none. So at least, you know, confession. So that's it. I don't know if I do another part, or if I will, if will change something. Maybe I will make another video. So from outside, this family looks the perfect family, a happy family with 2 children, and with a very strong and righteous husband, but it's not like that. Yeah, I will be here, still here, you know. And probably I will make another video about my gray hair and how it's doing. This light, artificial light, is not doing very well to the color of my hair, but it is better, you know. I will make probably another video. So please, if you are young, test the person, you know. If you see something egoistic and flash like a narcissistic personality under, don't go. It's a nightmare. It's horrible. So nevertheless, till my next video, I wish to everybody to never meet a narcissistic person, and have a very good and happy life. And that's it for now. Bye bye.